yesterday was so jam-packed with the Tony Basilio show and everything like that. I was unable to get to a couple of these teams. So let's start here in Lexington, where Mark Stoops and the Wildcats poised to go into another season here with a completely new offense. So, the fan base, Shane, I'm sure you've been seeing it as well. The Kentucky fans, it's almost like, right or wrong, they've got Tennessee in their rearview mirror. They're looking to match wits with Georgia and Florida this year. They're feeling the disrespect card.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kentucky, I keep saying it, they're like the ultimate wild card in my opinion, because if they hit on this offensive coordinator, if they hit on this transfer quarterback, Will Levis, this is going to be one hell of a dangerous team, don't you think?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. This is something that we thought could happen. We just said that they're missing a few pieces, and it feels like it's coming together at the right time. So I think there's a few teams in the East need to be a little worried about that Big Blue Nation.
Yeah, and of course, one guy, I don't want to say he's overshadowed because there's been so much hype with him, but Wan'Dale Robinson sure as hell looked to me like Nebraska was missing him. And that's one of the guys that Mark Stoops hit on here, talked about, nothing has been given to that kid. He's had to come in and earn everything that he's gotten there in Lexington. He talks about Will Levis stepping up. I know he's not been there that long, but he's already emerged as one of the team leaders. Mm-hmm. And then finally, this is a constant theme you're going to hear from a lot of these coaches on this show, but the unknown going into the opener. So let's kick it over to Mark Stoops.
Mark, how have you seen, the other day Vince talked about Wan'Dale came in and wanted to earn his spot. He wanted all his teammates to know it just wasn't handed to him. How have you seen him kind of embrace being the face of a program, all the pressure that comes around with coming home and all that?
Well, he does that every day as far as, doesn't say boo, as far like he works hard, he puts his head down, he works at his craft every day, and you've heard me talk about that over the years with different players. Everybody finds their voice at different times. I'm sure he will be use his voice when he needs to at times and has, but he leads heavily by example as well, being a new guy coming in here, and he works very hard every day and really gets better. He improves. It's amazing to see him, the way he's sharpened his skill at wide receiver. We all know he's a talented guy with the ball in his hand, but he's really developing into a great wide receiver. He's very talented, but I love his work ethic.
Mark, when Will got here, he said he wanted to work on leadership qualities and relationships.
Pardon me?
When Will got here, he said a couple things he needed to work on were leadership and building relationships with his coaches, something he didn't do at Penn State. What have you seen from him in that area?
I've just seen a strong leader, a strong presence. Again, he's very authentic, what you really like about him, and he works at it. He's in there a lot. He's in there watching film. A few times this summer when we've had recruits on campus, or he happened to pop in my office, and just watching him interact with other people, watching him interact with recruits, parents, anybody. He's handles himself like a grown man, and so you need that out of your quarterback. So he's very strong.
I know we talked a lot about the new things, but done this now 9 years. Do you still get the nerves, excited, jitters, whatever? Do you still get that feeling going into the season opener?
Definitely. I think the opener is always a bit different. You've probably heard me say that for 9 years, but it's true. I think the opener is different because, there's a lot of anticipation. There's a long time. Again, you don't know. You have a good feeling what your team is. You work with them every day and you know them, but until you get out there and do it, then it settles you down. You kind of have a better idea. Where do we need to work on? What things are we doing good? Let's build on the good things. Let's improve on the other things. And you get caught in the moment of getting better. Once you start. Early on, we've been going at this, all for a long camp, and you're kind of anxious, and you just kind of want to see what your team really is. So those nerves are the anticipation, I'd say, more than nerves, are always there. I think I'm very excited. I've said this before. I think, to me, it feels new. It feels like year one, I don't know. Maybe it's, and I guess it's maybe with a lot of the changes that I've had, a lot of changes in the offense or in the office in general, and I think, for me, it's just an exciting time.
Mark, you talked about being concerned players trying to do too much that first game. Do coaches have to?
Oh, yeah. No question. There's always a fine line with coaches of too much or too little. You know what I mean? It's again, you heard me say this, but it's true. It's not about what we know. It's about what they know and what they can do. We could stay up there all night, and work all night and come up with all kind of creative things. But can they do it? Can they execute it? And there's always a concern of too much, too little. And what can they handle? What can they do? And let's execute.
All right, Shade. So some very interesting comments there from Mark Stoops, particularly there at the tail end. But I think just hitting that refresh button and after, COVID, that could be an excuse for just about any team. But Kentucky with the tragedies and so much stuff that they had going on last year, they had so much momentum heading into the COVID year. I feel like if they can pick up where they left off and then, even take it a step further with this new offense, I guess, that really speaks highly of what they got brewing there in Lexington, don't you think?
Yeah, I do, man. And, it says a lot about the coach here, I think, because when Mark took this job, there wasn't a lot of expectations, but he's created those. And now you've got a program that's starting to expect wins, that's expecting to go to bowl games. He's now starting to expect to compete in the East, when you knock off teams like the Florida Gators. So I just think that's when he talks about the butterflies and stuff, I mean, that's what you want to hear from your coach. You don't want a guy that's out there that's complacent and this is no news. I want a guy that's like, man, I've got a lot of pressure on myself. This team's got a lot of pressure on themselves because we expect more with Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, speaking of wanting more, they're a 31-point favorite, so expect some points up there in the season opener. You know what?
They ain't going to know what to do, huh?